But then let's move on, and a very important financial goal that one really needs to invest, the child's education loan. But then how would you do it without having the right kind of portfolio? So we have Mr. Anil Rego, who's the founder CEO of Right Horizons, to help you, strategize each and every financial goal that you might have for yourself. And meanwhile, we'll also flash our WhatsApp number where you can send across your questions, 865-797-4571. The email ID is themoneyshow@etnow.tv. Anil, hi, good evening. Welcome to the show. And let's take Rakesh's question first. And Rakesh Kamlekar says that he's got quant dynamic asset allocation fund investing 5,000 rupees, ICICI Pro small cap, again 5,000 over here. It's been 1.5 years till now. He's got almost 15% odd return. Can he add more funds, or should he be continuing in the same scheme?
Yes, so first of all, I think he just has two funds, and
Yeah.
quant, if you see, in terms of performance, has done, pretty poorly in the last 1 year, even though it's a dynamic asset allocation fund, you know, uh, and it has debt and it can move. But if you look at it on a 2 year basis, he has managed to get a good return on the fund. So it's a high risk, high return fund. And to that extent, he needs to be clear whether he wants that type of, volatility out there. But if he's okay with a higher risk, then he can continue with that. Anyway, the ICICI Pro Small Cap Fund, I think, is a good fund to have in that category. So it's not an issue at all. Now, since he has only two funds, at least what he shared here, I think he can come back and also add a HDFC Flexi Cap if he has any additional liquidity. Then that is something that he can do. If not, I would rather just keep it with these two funds unless he wants to sort of reduce the risk, and in which case on the quant fund, and in which case he can look at something like a HDFC, who also have a good dynamic asset allocation fund.
All right. So that's the recommendation for Rakesh. And all right, we don't have him on the phone line. Otherwise, we could have asked more aspects of his particular planning that he might need. But then let's take Namit's question. And his portfolio says that ICICI large cap, he's investing in 5,000 rupees. Parag Parikh Flexi Cap, again 5,000. Motilal Oswal 2.5. Nippon small cap 2.5. And Wife's portfolio also has Nippon large cap 4,000 rupees SIP going on, HDFC Flexi Cap and mid cap 4,000, 2,000 each. Bandhan small cap 2,000 rupees. I think for both of the portfolio, the time horizon is 15 years. The corpus that they want to accumulate is around 1 CR. Funds are correct is what they want to know first. And is there any overlap between his and his wife's portfolio? And any suggestions as far as changing the portfolio mix is concerned? So very interesting. And this happens a lot of time, Anil, because in couples, what they do is they have a common goal, but they opt for two separate strategy. Now, how good is that? Should we have different strategies, or should we have separate goals, or it's okay to have one aligned goal, but then we don't need different strategies? Maybe, for example, if it's a child education goal, then that can be done by one person's portfolio. Retirement can be taken care by one person's portfolio. Should we go about that way?
Yeah, definitely. I think while planning, it's good for a family to plan, their goals together, because I think most of the goals will be common, right? So it makes sense for them to look at it. And it also makes sense to avoid any overlap, say, between multiple goals. Like you suggested, maybe certain goals, one person can take a lead, or, goals like, let's say, retirement may be larger, so it may need to be spread across both of them. And in fact, I must compliment Namit with his choice. I think both for himself and his spouse, he has a combination of large cap, flexi cap, mid cap, and small cap. So he's done a good distribution out there. He's also ensured that between the two of them, they actually don't have overlap in funds. Okay, so I would think that at this point of time, he can continue, because I like to avoid making too much of fund changes, especially if things are going on well. Coming back to his question of can he achieve 1 crore, right? He definitely can achieve 1 crore, because together they are investing some 27,000 rupees, whereas what they may require is actually 20,000 rupees per month approximately for the 15-year period. But however, I must say that I think he's under budgeting what actually this amount that he needs, the 1 crore, 15 years from now, may be a lot lesser. Okay, so which is why I think it's good if he's looking at goals to be able to, say that, okay, this is the value as of now, and then compound it, with an inflation rate. Okay, that way, typically what we've seen is, you don't underestimate, what are your goal requirement. And I think that's the only thing that maybe, he can look at and fine tune, but because he has a little bit of excess, then, that also, I think would be covered. But as he goes through the years, maybe, he can do a step up of his SIPs and build on there. But I think, he needs to build a lot more.
All right, that's the solution for Namit's portfolio, and a couple of other strategies that other viewers can also opt for as far as goal alignment is concerned. And with that, it's time up on the show. Thank you so much, Anil, for taking time out and helping our viewers. And I'm going to leave our viewers with our WhatsApp number and email ID where you can send across your portfolio query. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.